What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kid Smooth, and I am back with another video. And today I want to talk about Days Gone. This game has been making some headlines over the past couple of days, ever since its reveal last couple of weeks. It looked like some extensive gameplay or game demos were available to certain publishers. And so there's been previews coming out. A couple hit pieces came out. One in particular came from Eurogamer, which they said something, their headline was something crazy, but they since changed their headline. It's no longer the same. We got Engadget that says Days Gone will need a stellar story to save its stale gameplay. And then you have Eurogamer, whose headline now reads, Days Gone's E3 demo shows scant signs of life, motorcycle emptiness. And the headline was definitely much worse than what you're seeing now between from Eurogamer. They had like a hit piece headline, and then I just seen a Days Gone one from Engadget. But it looks like a lot of the complaints has a lot to do with about the generic gameplay, the character, some of the performance issues, the way that the game looks. A lot of heavy focus on that in these pieces. Now, the thing about this game is that this game is a 2019 game. It's at best, it's probably coming out sometime February, March of 2019. So it's still ways away. Still got some time to fix some of this stuff. Now, some of the stuff that I know for a fact they won't probably fix due to its due to the game, the design of itself. They're not changing Deacon. He's the main character. If you don't like him, you're gonna have to get over it. They're not changing the combat because it's already in place. It's gonna look like that. The moves is gonna be what they are, and they're not going to add different vehicles to the game. The only thing I hope they possibly could change is the sound of some of the guns. They sound like Nerf weapons, sound like they got a lot of air in them. And I said that in the live stream. Me personally, I'm still very much looking forward to these games. I don't look too much into these pieces. A lot of this stuff is done for clicks. It's the perfect time for clicks. You need people got to put out pieces throughout April and May, because in June by default they're going to get clicks because of E3 headlines. So this is to keep up the momentum. Now, the one thing I can say about Sony or Sony Ben is that, sure, they didn't have to show off this game. They're showing off this game because we're probably not going to see it at this year's E3. They didn't have to show it off. It's still early, but for them, when I heard that Game Informer was getting an hour of Days Gone gameplay, I'm like, man, bless up to Sony, because I like the confidence. They're going to show us the game. They're going to show us an early build. It's going to look good, and they're going to give people the start of the game. So if they can't be, I guess, surprised if there's like negative reactions to what people got to see or got to play, because you want to show off the best work, and Sony Ben felt this was their best work, and then this is what they are rolling with. Now, the thing I don't like about some of these pieces that are coming out about Days Gone and many other games is that, one, it's early, I understand that, and it's your job to report on what you're playing. And this is the one thing, the reason why I don't like about previews and reviews when it comes, this is why I can't take review scores seriously, because some of the things that are focused on opposed to other games in the review, it just doesn't make sense to me. I find it hard to just agree with. Now, sometimes I can understand if a game gets a bad grade or gets docked for the gameplay, how it's played, or how it's not smooth and is just like kind of not really adaptable. I can understand that. I can understand a game being shitted on for graphics. I can understand a game being shitted on for frame rates and performance. I don't understand the logic behind story and characters of like giving a game pretty much trying to identify a game, and if it's bad or good based on the characters or the story, or what the story is trying to tell. I think it's stupid. It makes no sense. And I've seen many games get reviewed or previewed where the complaint is the character. Sure, people don't really care for Deacon St. John. I'm sorry, the last name is stupid as fuck, but I mean, that's not something I would really dock the game for. Deacon St. John. I mean, Deacon is fine. All right, to me, I look at, when I see this game, I'm thinking of the Sons of Anarchy meets The Walking Dead meets I Am Legend. That matchup, which is cool. I like zombie games. I like guns. I like open world. I like the survival instinct. I like the freaking crafting wheel that they hijacked Horizon Zero Dawn off, like how it does it in game and you can craft on the fly. I think stuff like that can get you out of trouble pretty quickly and efficiently. There was a complaint, and I think in the Engadget article that I read, that, oh, it's like Horizon Zero Dawn. You craft this and you do this one mission to another, nothing changes, blah, 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 blah. That's some of the stuff that I read, but stuff like that I don't freaking mind. It's the stuff like the story, like, what they say, what does it say? Days Gone will need a stellar story to save a stellar gameplay. Now, if you find the gameplay stellar, fine. And I think it's bullshit, because no matter how good the story is, this is unfair, because no matter how good the story is, it should not change the fact that the gameplay is stale. If the gameplay is stale and you don't think it's revolutionary to games, or if it's doing anything different, why would a stellar story make it that much better to play, or make it that much of a better game? See, I think the over reliance on the game having a good story or having a good character or relatable character is fucking dumb. If I like the gameplay, but I don't care for the character, I'm still going to play the game, because I don't feel like I have to fall in love with the character or the NPCs around the main character for the game for me to continue to play. Like, some games don't have to have a fucking Hollywood story all the freaking time. They can be a decent story, tell a story, what's my mission? Okay, it is what it is. If it's generic, it's generic. If the game is fun, the game is fun. I think we look too much into characters and story dialogue, the interaction. They're not producing movies, now games are a form of entertainment. And I like games as an entertainment, but there's some things I really don't need to take seriously. There's things and stuff like that, because you're telling me, well, we'll give this game stellar gameplay a pass if it has a terrific story. But what if the game has an amazing gameplay, like revolutionary gameplay, but a boring, weak ass story? Is it still the same? What's more important to you? So me personally, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I have no worries about Days Gone, matter of fact, because I don't relate to a lot of these writers are saying about their games. I don't play the games for reasons they may play games. So that's why I could probably jump into Days Gone and play for like 4 days straight, no sleep, beat it, and be happy with what I've played, and read a review and like, I don't understand what they're talking about. Now, and I expressed to you guys my complaints from what I saw in this preview. Sounds of the games, the sounds of the guns, I just think ain't cutting it. The over-reliance on the motorcycle, I think is dumb. I understand these are bikers. I understand that. I completely understand that. But to me, and this is going to be my final piece about a reason why I don't want to really, I don't care about the motorcycles, is the fact that in open world games, in most games, the motorcycle is the worst vehicle to control. I haven't seen a developer or a game like perform motorcycles very well, where it's like, being that the motorcycle is your only source of transportation in this game, it has to control very well. It has to be tight. It has to be like okay, they nailed this down. That's the only way I can see it, because when you're thinking about, you're in an open world game, there's cars all around you, but unfortunately, none of the cars work, and your only source of transportation is a motorcycle in an open world zombie game where you're going to be taking on hordes of zombies. Now, me personally, I'd rather be inside a vehicle taking on zombies, cars, van, truck, whatever, mashing zombies. You can't do that in a motorcycle. You can't. Like, it's just not possible. You can't run over hordes of zombies in a motorcycle. It's just not going to work. I could see that being a complete clusterfuck and probably detrimental to the player playing the game. And the fact that in all the open world games, I feel like motorcycles don't control well. I avoid motorcycles in games like Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row, Sleeping Dogs, all that bullshit. Any game that offers multiple sources of vehicles, I would never use a motorcycle because they don't control well. They drive out of control. They're too sensitive. And I just haven't played a game where a developer made it comfortable to drive motorcycles. And if Days Gone is making the motorcycle the only use to get around, they have to do it well. So if anybody has a complaint, on how the motorcycle drives in this game, that's going to be a problem, and that would be a legit complaint I can understand because it's the only vehicle you can type of use. And a lot of people want to use the damage control that, oh, he's a biker. I mean, I've seen bikers drive cars before. I mean, just saying, I've seen it. But I understand that. I understand that's how they designed the game. And it's all design choice, but the roads aren't really roads. They're all like narrow paths. So I get it. I get how it works, but that's just my thoughts on that. That's the only knock I have on that because I don't really care for the idea of the motorcycle and over reliance on it. The sounds of the guns need to change. Stuff like frame rate and visual improvements, that will happen. They have more than enough time. So, I mean, the focus on that, okay, I get it, but this game is still, you know, some time away. And the fact that people are wasting their time saying how they feel about the characters, you kind of, come on, please. This is video games, people. Video games, all right? I mean, I get it. But that's my thoughts on Days Gone. You have nothing to be worried about. The game's going to be okay. And PlayStation, you guys, I don't know if you're set on like this standard where all your games have to be like a fucking 93 or above for you to enjoy it or for you to claim its fame. This game will be a great 82 meta 82 game or a meta 79 game. It is what it is. I don't identify games as mediocre if they don't hit 90, which a lot of people, I don't know if it's this the Last of Us effect or the God of War effect or Persona 5 effect or the Legend of Zelda effect, where games just have to be a single player games just have to be like a 90 or better to be worth your time or to be worth talking about. Days Gone is going to be cool. And matter of fact, Days Gone in 2016 was my most anticipated PlayStation exclusive over God of War, over a bullshit Last of Us 2, and over an Uncharted game. Now, I enjoyed God of War, I enjoyed Uncharted, but Days Gone is still there. It just haven't released, and I'm looking forward to it next year. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think these media outlets are overreacting, or are they just doing this shit for clicks? I mean, like I said, it's about that time for hit pieces to come, because E3, the clicks are coming automatically. All right, your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to reading them. And while you're at it, if you like what I'm doing with my videos, please consider supporting the Patreon. The link's in the description below if you give a damn. All right, it's Kid Smooth. I'm out of here. Peace.